Before this video starts, I'd just like to say this is not a usual video about Larry, but anyways, enjoy. Oh man, I really miss my blue coat. Oh, I wonder where Larry is. Larry, are you here? Larry, where are you? Larry, oh, where is he? Larry, I know you're here somewhere. Larry, where? What? Andrew? Is that you? Yeah, it is me. But you usually were wearing the blue coat. I literally have never seen you before. Well, I wore a green one. Yeah. Well, so what are you doing here? Well, I wanted to learn about the story of Elijah. Elijah? You mean the Bible prophet? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, in order to learn that, let's go to the story of Elijah. Woo, woo. Hello, everybody. It's me again, Larry, and I just wanted to make this story kind of short. So today, we're going to be learning the story of Elijah. So who is Elijah? Elijah was one of the prophets in the Bible, and he was one of the most important prophets in the entire Bible. But let's go on the story anyways. Elijah was a prophet during the reign of King Ahab. King Ahab was a greedy, selfish, and evil king. Well, why was he evil, Larry? Because King Ahab did not worship God. Well, who did he worship? You know how how Elijah worshipped God? Well, that's not what King Ahab did. He did the total opposite of what Elijah did. He worshipped an idol named Baal. Baal? I've never heard of Baal before. The only type of idol I've heard is the Buddha. You know that fat guy with a big smile? And he's got all that? My parents worshipped that, unfortunately. Yeah, so King Ahab worshipped Elijah, King Ahab worshipped Baal, sorry. But yeah, King Ahab worshipped Baal, and one day God spoke to Elijah, and God spoke to him, and he said, Elijah, go tell King Ahab and all of the prophets of Baal that I am the only true God. And Elijah said, yes, my Lord, I will go do that right now. And that's what he did. Well, did Elijah, did he use something to help them out? Andrew, wait a bit, buddy. But yeah, so Elijah went over to King Ahab's palace and said, King Ahab. And King Ahab said, what do you want now? And so Elijah said, God is angry because you do not serve him. But then King Ahab got really mad and had them send him away. He said, guards, get this man out of here. I don't want to hear his crappy nonsense. Well, did Elijah, tell them another message? Well, yes, you're exactly right, Andrew. He actually had another question, and we're about to get on that right now. God told Elijah, go back to King Ahab's palace because it will not rain for a very, very long time. Well, how long would it be until it rained again? Well, We do know that it was approximately 3 years. 3 years? That's how long ago my brother Solo graduated from high school. How old is Solo again? He's like 22 now. But yeah, so Elijah went over to King Ahab's palace and told Ahab again, King Ahab. And King Ahab said, "What do you want again, Elijah? I don't have time to hear all your nonsense." And then Elijah said, "It's not going to rain for 3 years. There won't even be dew on the ground." However, whenever Ahab heard this, he was infuriated. He and his wife Jezebel wanted to kill Elijah. Kill him? I thought that the Bible says do not kill. And I also thought murder is bad. You're absolutely right, Andrew. Murder is bad. The Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 16, "Thou shalt not kill." But anyways, due to King Ahab's sinister plan, God told Elijah to go hide in the wilderness from King Ahab and his wife Jezebel. But then Elijah started feeling hungry and very thirsty. And God told Elijah, "Go over to a widow's house, and she will provide food and a drink for you." Elijah was very confused and just didn't make any sense. He wondered how he would ever get food that way. What is a widow? Well, Andrew, a widow is someone whose spouse has died. And it's very sad. It sounds terrible. It is terrible, Andrew, but you won't believe it. Elijah actually obeyed God's commandment. So Elijah went over to a widow, and Elijah said to the widow, "Please get me something to eat and give me something to drink." The widow said, "I don't have any food or a drink really. The only food and drink that I have is only a little bit of olive oil in a jug and only a few loaves of bread." But however, the widow had a son, and they were very poor because this widow's husband was dead. And so, yeah. But then, after that, Elijah said, "You shall pray to God, and he will provide what you and your boy need. And I should be able to get some of that food too before I get killed by the king and queen." Hopefully I got that right. And so Elijah and the widow prayed, but then a total miracle happened. There was enough food and a drink for the son and the widow and Elijah. However, though, a few days after that, something really bad happened. The widow's son died. Oh no! So what happened next? Well, the widow was sobbing really, really hard because her son was dead. But Elijah went over to the widow and said, "Don't be afraid. Just have faith in God, and your boy will become alive again." So Elijah came close to the bed and shouted in prayer, "Lord my God, give this boy's life back to him." And then something absolutely amazing happened. The boy came back to life. The widow was so happy and amazed. Oh, and also I forgot to mention this little bit. God sent ravens to give him food and provided water for Elijah. But anyways, back on the actual story. So Elijah again went over to King Ahab's palace and said, "King Ahab." And King Ahab said, "What do you want again, Elijah? I just told you, get out of my palace." Elijah then said, I have a contest for you. And King Ahab said, what is the task? And Elijah said, let's bring up altars to our God, and you'll pray to your God. We'll all pray on the name of the Lord.
And who was King Ahab's god again?
Baal.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Anyways, carry on.
But so then King Ahab and Elijah brought up altars. And so Elijah said the same thing. You pray to your god Baal, which is a fake god, but I'll pray on the Lord, the only real God, the God who made all the dry land and the water below. And so after that, King Ahab and all of the prophets of Baal gathered up and started shouting, Baal, Baal, answer us! And they kept shouting. But you guessed it, spoiler alert, Baal did not give an answer.
Well, why not?
Because Baal was an idol.
Oh, that explains a lot. Anyways, just keep on going. I'm listening.
So then Elijah saw the false calls and he said, you'll have to shout louder. Perhaps he's away on a trip or asleep and needs to be wakened. And then he laughed. The prophets began shouting louder and kept saying, Baal, Baal, answer us and prove to this man that you really are the true God. But there was still no answer. So then after that, Elijah had his turn. Elijah went up and prayed, God, God, prove to these people that you really are the true God, and you have sent me to make these people learn that you really are the true God. And you can probably guess who won. Yep, it was Elijah. Everything on the altar was burnt and burned. It burned everything. Now, would you think that King Ahab would listen? Sadly, unfortunately, the answer is no.
No, but I thought that you said everything burned up the altar of Elijah.
Well, it did, Andrew, but he still chose not to listen. But yeah, King Ahab did not obey or loved God at all. And Elijah finally went under a tree and said, Lord, I've had enough. But then an angel had bread and water, and Elijah drank it. However, though, eventually Elijah's time to go to heaven became a time. God sent a chariot of fire down from heaven, and it picked up Elijah, and Elijah got to be with his God, the true God that created the high sky and the clouds below.
Wait, he was brought up to heaven by a chariot of fire? I've heard of those. They've been mentioned in the Bible quite a bit.
Yep, so Elijah was raised up to heaven.
Wow, I had no idea about that.
Yep, it's absolutely true. But Andrew, that's it for the story.
Okay, I gotta go now.
See you soon, buddy. Goodbye, Bible fans. See you next time.